Hi guys, focus, thank you. The story of how me and my boyfriend met. My version of it, not his, which makes me sound like a stalker. Um, yeah, so we met, it'll be 9 years in December ago. That was terrible English. In December it will be 9 years since we met. That sounds better. Um, yeah, it was blind luck, really. Yeah, I really need to think what I'm going to say before I say it, otherwise it's just going to be a string of ers and ums and pauses. Okay, I had gone to the cinema to see Master and Commander with my sister and... Oh, I just realised how northern I sounded then. Master and Commander. So, I'd been to see Master and Commander with my sister and her husband, and a combination of his bad migraines anyway and the kind of wibbly wobbly nature of the picture made him feel a little bit seasick and a bit headachy. So he went home straight after the film, and me and my sister hung out in town, and we got a coffee and looked at a few shops, and we were going to head home, well, back to my parents' flat, and actually shit, I was living there at the time, so I'm heading back to my house. And yeah, I just thought, oh, I'm in town, I'll just pop down to one of the gay bars and have a drink and see who's around, because I used to go in there all the time. It wasn't even funny how often I was in there. So yeah, I went in and just started chatting to a few friends and people I used to drink with. And there was this old guy called Joe, who I sort of knew. I used to chat to him occasionally. But he was one of those old guys who's always surrounded by these really young, thin boys who are like barely legal. Chickens, basically. He liked, you know, they used him for money, and he used them for... I can't imagine him having sex with them. I just assume he liked them for their company. So yeah, he was with one of them that I'd seen floating around, and with his little boy toy was this insanely hot young bear with a little goatee and a little tiny little mustache and glasses and a bit chubby, and oh my god, he was fucking hot. But him and this other little minty queen he was with were both dressed exactly alike, both in black shirts, black trousers, white tie, and I just thought, that is fucking typical. Why every time do I see a really hot chubby guy, why they're always with some skinny chaser? It's just, where's all the chub for chubs? Seriously, where's, you know, someone who likes someone a bit bigger? Typical. But you know, it was nice enough. Got chatting to Joe and the skinny guy who turned out to be called Will, and then introduced me to this other guy called James, who, yeah, like I said, very nice. Got chatting to them, they left, turned around, got back talking to my friends, and then about half an hour later they came back from wherever they'd been, and Joe, the old guy, said that they'd come back because somebody wanted to see me again. Yeah, and then it turned out that James and his friend Will, they'd just come over from York to Leeds for the day, just to go shopping, and they thought, for a laugh, let's dress alike. They were, you know, they were best friends and nothing between them. And when I heard that, I was like, good, awesome. You know, he was 6 years younger than me, but yeah, nice guy. We had a lot in common. We got chatting, but it was really awkward. We were like this far apart, this far apart all the time. We never got very close to each other until Joe, the old guy, he literally pushed us together. It's like, look, for God's sake, just So, you know, we had a hug, and it was nice. And yeah, the rest of the evening we went to a few other bars and just spent the night chatting and seeing. You know, we both liked Doctor Who and both liked Family Guy, and back when Family Guy was good. And before Doctor Who came back, so, you know, we were talking about Spearhead from Space for some reason, the John Pertwee episode. Yeah, and then he had to go back to York because he had a train to catch, so he left to meet his friend Will, and he didn't know his phone number, but he told me that Joe, the old guy, had it. So off he went. I finished my drink. I went to the other pub to find Joe. It turns out Joe didn't have his phone number, and I was gutted because I thought I wasn't going to see this guy again, because all that summer it'd been like an object lesson of, if you don't go for it, you won't get it. So I'd been hanging out with this girl whose mother used to work for my parents. She used to work in a pub not too far from the pub my parents ran, and yeah, I was with her like over that summer, just slowly getting drunker and drunker, and she introduced me to this, again, insanely hot, chubby guy who turned out was one of the managers of the pub over the road from where we were. And yeah, I spent the whole summer thinking, oh, maybe I should say something, maybe I should say something, maybe I'll get a friend to say something, and you know, just on my behalf, and see. Turns out he liked me, I liked him. Neither of us made a move. And then the day I finally decided to say something to him was the day he left his job, and I never saw him again. So after that I thought, right, fuck it, and from now on I'm going to go for it. If I get shot down in flames, fuck it. So yeah, this hot guy had gone, I didn't have his number, didn't know how to get in contact with him, he lived in a different city, he was going to get a train. I thought, this is it, I'm not going to see him again, so I ran. I literally ran, and I'm not a fit guy. I legged it. No, it's not far, but I'm unfit. But I ran from the pub to the train station, tried to get a platform ticket, but I didn't have any change on me, so I ran up to the guy and said, please, can you let me through? I really need to see someone. And bizarrely, they let me through the barriers. Ran to the platform, got to where James and Will were waiting for the train, and went, do I have your number? Can I have it? So yeah, so we stood on the platform, we swapped numbers, and then literally just then, as he gave me his number, the train pulled up, and for the first and probably last time, I kissed him in public, because we don't really do that, unfortunately. Yeah, and he got on the train and he left, and that night I gave him a ring and we arranged to meet the next day, and then we met the day after, and then by Sunday we were going out. So that's the cute kind of Richard Curtisy style version of events, not the version that he tells people, which is Joe did have his number, which he didn't, and I was the weirdo that came running up out of nowhere to see him again, which makes me sound like a massive stalker, but fuck it, he went out with me, and we're still together, so